Peace, peace, family. Hi, babies. Hey. I'm going to try and be quiet because I just put my kid to sleep. It's nap time. And I had something I wanted to talk to y'all about, okay? And I'm going to be really quick for real this time because we have an in house therapy session for his ABA, his autism therapy, um, in an hour and a half. And I hope to fold clothes before that happens. So, yes, hi Dream Garden. You see, I put my eyebrows on for y'all today. I'm trying to be quiet, okay? Lord, we can't wake this kid up, okay? But listen, I have quite the story for you. Today, I'm going to tell you how I got to Ghana in the first place in detail. And believe me, this is a real story time, y'all. It's quite the story. If it gets to be too long, we're going to do a part two and I'll just cut it, okay? Um, Please come over to Cali-naian TV. All right, I'm gonna put the link in the description box because that is where these type of videos are gonna be. But I know I gotta transition my dream garden on over there. Okay, so let's get it started. Um, so as I mentioned in, I think my Dreaming Out Loud video, I've always wanted to visit Africa. I've always felt very, very connected, especially after I began to really study my culture and my people in college, right? Um, I always knew I wanted to go. So at this point in time, I was at my university for undergrad, my local university, and this was like my third college I had went to, right? We'll talk about that later. So I had transferred into this university as an African American, well, studies major. It's called Africana Studies, but um, some people call it African American Studies. And so I remember walking through the quad. It was a nice, beautiful, sunny day, and they have tables set up and there are different events going on, and this was the international programs study abroad week. So they had like all these tables with different countries, and students were at the tables trying to get people to come and sign up to study abroad in that country. So I saw two countries in Africa. I'm like, what's popping? What are they? What's in Ghana? Um, Not what's in Ghana, what's in Africa. And so I saw South Africa and I saw Ghana. And Ghana just called me. I'm like, I want to go to Ghana. At this point in time, um, I knew a little bit, but not as much as I know now, about African history as I'm still growing and learning. But at the time, I remember thinking, well, I feel like there's a lot of Europeans in South Africa. Just being honest. If I'm going to go to Africa, I want to really, be immersed in some authentic culture. And this is not to say South Africa doesn't have authentic culture, because South Africa is beautiful, okay? But that was just my mind frame during that time as an undergrad college student, okay? So I went and I walked past their table and I said, nah, it's too hard. So often we don't even know the process, but we automatically think that it's difficult or impossible or it's not possible for us. But one of my friends, I think she may have been pregnant at the time, Darling T. We were in class together. I think she was pregnant with her twins, and I told her about it. She said, "Girl, you need to go down there and apply." So I said, "All right, fine." I went down and I signed up. So we went through orientation and everything, and the process that it takes. And after that, we had to wait. So originally, y'all, I was denied acceptance. Okay, I remember getting the letter in the mail and being so defeated and so disappointed. First of all, when I told people that I wanted to go to Ghana, that I was going to go and travel to Africa, I'm from the hood, like I said. They was like, you crazy. They made all type of ignorant jokes. I love y'all. I know it was, it didn't mean no harm, but a lot of people made jokes. You know what I'm saying? They were saying stuff about African booty scratchers. They were saying that I was gonna get kidnapped and raped and beat and live in huts. They said all type of disrespectful stuff. So I felt so defeated because I had already endured, right, like this embarrassment to them, trying to talk to my peers about this, right? Um, so I didn't tell anybody for a while. I was just like, whoa, I just talked it up so much. And I got denied. And the reason why I got denied was because my overall GPA was lower than what the requirement was. So here's a story about how this was my third college. Straight out of high school, I got accepted into a few universities. I chose to go to Fresno State University, which is about 4 hours away from where I'm from Oakland. And I figured it's not too far, not too close, all of that. Well, I was still in a space where I was very, very hurt. I was very, very lost. I was seeking validation outside of myself in the form of men, okay? And I went out to Fresno and failed every single class because I was so distracted and wrapped up in drama dealing with them Negroes, just dealing with them fools, you feel me? That I failed every single class after getting a full, scholarship to go. And so they're not playing when you're on scholarship, academic scholarship. And I remember hiding out in my dorm room, too scared to tell my mom that I flunked out. I was so embarrassed. I was the first person in my immediate family to go to college, and that I had this big going away party. The whole hood was there. All of 9-8 was there. All of East Oakland was there, okay? And I have to come back home and say I failed. So I stayed in Fresno for a minute, y'all, before I came home and tucked my tail. Enrolled in community college, got my AA, and then transferred to where I was then at that time, okay? So that's how it was my third college. But after I failed out of Fresno State, after that I got like straight A's and B's. So I think the counselor said you need to do an appeal. You can plead to them and show them that your overall GPA is low because of what happened at that first school, but since then you've been doing great. So my hair is growing, y'all. You know how you don't peep your hair is growing? I just took my little twist out. So anyway, sorry. So I did the appeal process, and I just want to make a side note about the appeal process. There was a panel of, I don't know, maybe they were instructors, maybe they were assistants. I don't know exactly who they were, but it was at the university. And what they wanted to know is what changed from when I failed all my classes to getting straight A's and B's. They wanted to see what happened, the transformation. They wanted to understand that. So the side note I want to talk about is the difference between, lower my voice, the difference between, I hope y'all can still hear me, the difference between European intellect versus African spirituality, right? The difference in what different cultures really put importance on. So for me, it was a spiritual change, right? I got my act together, right? I got into my spirituality a little bit more during that time. I really started focusing on me. But what they wanted to hear was, did you study more? Did you get a tutor? And I'm like, it had nothing to do with my intellect, honey. I've always enjoyed school. I've always been intelligent. But I was distracted. My spirit wasn't right. I was so broken and so lost that I was seeking love from outside of myself from these fools. So, I couldn't tell their asses that. They wasn't going to reverse my appeal. So I told them what they wanted to hear. I said, oh, I got a tutor. I went to bed early. I told them what they wanted to hear. And they said, wow, that was really helpful. It really made a change. Baby, I started getting my spirit right, but they didn't understand that. So the process, they made me wait for a long time, you guys, for a long, 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 long time. And I just went on not really knowing what the status was. During that process, I kind of lost hope. I didn't know what the answer was going to be. And so the money that I had saved for my flight ticket, because during our orientation, before we got our acceptance or denial letters, they told us what we needed to do, what we needed to save for, and all of those things. I spent my flight money, y'all. I thought I wasn't going. I spent my flight money again with another fool, but it's okay. We live and we learn. It made me who I am today, right? I spent my money trying to keep up with some guy who had money issues. So, me trying to, keep up with him, I spent my flight ticket money to Ghana. Like all of it. Like gone. You know what I'm saying? Staying in hotels with him, just trying to be up under a man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me tell you, I'm so happy about my growth, about not being in that space no more. Lord, thank you. No shade to you either, boo. So I went on not knowing. I spent my money, and at the time I was teaching preschool. And so I was teaching preschool, and then I ended up injuring my back. And because I was like a substitute teacher, a floater, they called it, I didn't really have any benefits, and I was still in college, so I was only working part time. So I remember like, oh, I needed that money. I was trying to save up that money to re up for my flight ticket. I still had, just in case, I still had some time. And so I felt so even more defeated, like, God, what's happening to me? Like, now I can't even resave my money up. So during that time, I also, this is important, during that time of the injury of my back and spending all my money, I also withdrew from a course that was just too stressful for me at the time, late in the game, so it became an unauthorized withdrawal. I didn't know this at the time, but that's what happened. So I withdrew from that class, right? And I kept, I withdrew from that class, and then I got the back injury. Okay, I hope y'all follow me. Sorry. I withdrew from the class, and then I got the back injury around the same time. Okay, so once my back got better, I went back to work to try and restack the money again. But by this time, a few weeks had passed, and it was getting really, really close to time to have money for my ticket. So I remember just saying, forget it. I forgot about Ghana. I didn't even think about it no more. I just was working. So I can't keep stressing myself. I'm just going to go to work and just go to work. And I remember after all the kids had left, I was cleaning the toys, and I got a phone call from a weird number. And it was a number from the regional office in San Diego for the international program saying, we've reviewed your appeal and we are going to overrule your denial and you will be going, start preparing. So I'm like, yes, like super juicy, pumped for all of 2 seconds until I remembered I done spent my money and I'm actually about to go. Do y'all think I could ask that little boy I was fooling with for some money? Huh? No. So I felt defeated again. Follow me, y'all. It's a happy ending. So, anyways, yes. And so then I realized not only did I not have my money, the unauthorized withdrawal was going to make me disqualified and to where I couldn't go anyway. So I remember walking home from the BART station, from the train station. That's our train. From our train station, I had parked at the train station to go somewhere I went, and I remember it just dawned on me like, man, like she gave me that unauthorized with W. That's not fair. Like I was just angry. I was just upset, So I remember Googling the phone number, researching the phone number for the department, my school's, the department for the class that I had withdrew from. And I Googled the number, found it, called, and left a rude voicemail, which I regretted the moment I hung up. I knew it was out of pure emotion. It was displaced anger, right? Because I had nobody to be mad at but myself, right? And I was like, oh, now I can't even go in there and beg for them to make it a regular W, a withdrawal, because I done called them and was so nasty to them on this voicemail, okay? So, I just kind of kept going to work, just kept going to work, kept going to work or whatever. And I just felt like, well, it's over now. Like, it's really over now. And I felt even more defeated because they approved me to go and then I've crumbled it again myself. Okay. Um, so I'm going to work and I end up driving home one day, being a block away. I was staying with my mom at the time. I was 1 block away from home, y'all. 1 block away from home, coming down the street. It was a 4-way stop sign. I'm gonna try and use my hands. I'm driving, stopped. Everybody stopped. We stopped, and the cars this way went. So after they went, it's our turn. We go. I'm driving, and boom! A big old pickup truck, an old school pickup truck. It was like a 1980 something Chevy hit me. And I had just leased this brand new Toyota Corolla, which was my first car that I bought off the lot and not off Craigslist. So I was super into this car, y'all. And T-boned me. I'm talking about 1 block away from my house. And it was like maybe 3:30, and it was on the corner of a school. So everybody was picking their children up. They witnessed it all. I just remember being in shock and just like, I remember just opening. She hit the passenger side, luckily, right? Thank God. And I remember getting out the driver's seat, and like I couldn't really walk. I was just like in shock, but I wasn't hurt. And I remember being angry, y'all. I told y'all I done grew. I was from the hood. I dang near wanted to fight. Like, oh, you just hit me, But I couldn't really walk. And then people came running up to me, asked me if I was okay, and it was just a big blur. The neighbors, because like I said, I'm 1 block away from my house. The neighbors see and go tell my mom. Now, my mom is me times 100. She came down there hot. What happened to my baby? She trying to get to the lady. It's like a whole bunch going on. And I'm like, whoa, like car just totaled, y'all. I'm talking about totaled. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, Lord, what's happening with my life? I felt like everything was crumbling. What's happening to me? Okay, I was like, oh no. So I didn't have no car. I had full coverage insurance, but at this time, I thought full coverage meant full coverage. I didn't know that having rental car insurance was separate to check on. I was naive, so I didn't have rental car insurance. So I had to catch the bus to work, the bus and bar, and walk. And I worked pretty far from my house, so I had to get up at like 4:30 in the morning. So I was so broken, y'all. But something in me just kept saying, just keep going. Like sometimes, this is my message real quick, a side message. Sometimes things got to get so effed up what it seems like, to where you have no choice but to just trust God, to trust the universe. You can just be like, F it. Ain't nothing else I could do. I ain't got no car. I ain't got no money for my flight ticket. I done nearly cussed these people out at school, so they're not gonna give me the grade I need. I was just like, F it. It's like you get so low to this point where you have no choice but to surrender. Ooh, that's gonna be another video. Let me bring it full circle for y'all, because this is really a testament to the power of the universe, the infinite goodness of God. Okay, let me tell you. So the lady at the scene, okay, was like, I'm so sorry. She was crying. She was an old white lady telling me her story about how this is her second accident and her insurance gonna be mad. And my heart was so open. I felt so sorry for her. I was hugging her, crying with her, and my mama was sitting there like, make sure she put that on paper. And I was like, Mom, stop being so negative, please. But my mama had some game, because you know what that lady turned around and did? She told her insurance company that she wasn't at fault. How are you not at fault for T-boning me? I knew she was at fault, but all that did was prolong the claim process because she denied liability. So I'm waiting in limbo with no car not knowing what's up. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I just keep going to work, y'all. I had no choice. Like I said, I had no choice but to surrender. I had been brought so low that I had no choice but to just say F it and just do the only thing that I could do, which was just keep going to work. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, um, it came to where we had to put a deposit down for our flight to secure it. I had like $300 to my name, and the security deposit was $250. I was like, I really didn't think I had a chance of going. Where else was I gonna come up with the money? But my spirit just said, "Give it up. You already broke." What's the difference between 250 and 50? So I put my 250 on to secure the flight and just kept going to work, just kept going to work. At this time, so much stuff was happening to me spiritually. Like I said, when you get brought so low and you get stuff stripped away from you, you can hear spirit. See, the easy way to hear spirit and to quiet your mind is through meditation and spiritual practices. But the hard way is when you don't listen and God come and strip everything away from you, so you have no choice but to listen. Okay? Ooh, this video getting long. I'm gonna try and cut it and make it 2, because I don't feel like stopping. I'm almost done. So I secured the ticket. At this point, so many spiritual things were happening to me. People who clairvoyant people were approaching me on the street and telling me about myself and saying, "Girl, whatever you're going through, don't worry. Something's about to happen." I'm talking about like really visions. Like they were coming up to me. You know what I'm saying? I also, had a reading with a friend of mine who I didn't even know did readings, who foresaw me being in Ghana and didn't even know about my trip, but that's a whole nother story. So a lot of things were happening to me spiritually, and I was just kind of going with the flow of things. 1 week before my trip, I got a phone call saying the lady was found liable, and they had been trying to reach me via email to give me a check for a week and a half. And can I come pick up a check? I'm like, yes, I can come pick up the funds. Give me the cash. What? And let me tell you, the check was enough for my flight ticket, okay? And then some, okay? Because I was already going on a budget to Ghana, okay? I'm from the hood. I was going on a budget. I was going to do what I had to do. And the check was fat, y'all. And on top of that, my entire car was paid off. So my credit was popping, glistening in the sun. And I didn't have to worry about paying a car note while studying abroad. Do you see how everything worked out for me? Hey, I get juiced every time I tell that story. I couldn't make this stuff up. My mama was sitting back saying, "Girl, you are so blessed. You have so much favor." And let me tell you, I'm not more blessed than anyone. I don't have no more favor than anyone. And I'm going to make another video about that. It's going to be entitled, "Are Some People More Blessed Than Others?" I already got the content down. I just got to record it, okay? But it wasn't that I was more blessed than somebody else. It wasn't that I was, extraordinary. It was because I surrendered and believed that it's just going to work itself out. I didn't know how or what the outcome was going to be. Oh, I'm getting blurry. I didn't know how or what the outcome was going to be. But at that point, I had to surrender. So what that taught me was surrender up front, y'all. Ride the stream and don't trip off of what is happening. I didn't know what was happening to me. Oh, real quick. Because I went to the hospital for that back injury that I was so upset about because I had to miss work, I was able to go to my hospital, my doctor, and get the documentation of my injury to submit to the department to say, this is why I didn't withdraw from the class in time, because I was dealing with an injury. Even though that wasn't it. I was just slipping. But you see how God lined it all up? You don't know all the pieces, and you shouldn't want to know. Just trust. You don't have to know all the moving parts. So the message is, despite what it looks like, everything is always working out for you. This is my testimony. One of my favorite affirmations to say in my head when things are happening and I don't understand why or it seems to be bad is everything is always working out for me. All is well and things are always working out for me. All is well and things are always working out for me. All is well and things are always working out for me. I will repeat that because they are. Think about it. Think about anything that's happened to you. It always worked out. So the question is, are you going to fight it the entire way and have an attitude and be bitter and prolong your blessings? Or are you going to go with the flow? We don't know how the universe is aligning people and events and things to work out for you. A total car was a blessing to me. I was healthy and safe. I wasn't injured. I got the money that I needed. My credit got a boost. And I didn't have to worry about a bill for a vehicle that I wouldn't even be driving. That back injury was a blessing to me. Even though I missed the funds that I thought I needed at the time, those tools and fuels, it was my reasoning, my proof for my department to show them why I needed a regular W, which they changed to a W so I can go to Ghana. And as you see, your girl went to Ghana, and did she have fun? Hell, she came back pregnant. I love y'all. Let me go do this laundry before my son's therapist come over. I ain't even ate, and I was at the gym today getting it in, huffing and puffing and sweating with no shame. All the back fat out. Let me tell y'all, if y'all go to the gym and you embarrassed, please, honey, please. I'll be on the floor like this after my workout. I don't care no more. I'm here to get it in, okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to me. I hope that this was helpful. It was super long. I'm going to try and cut it. But please go over to Cali-naian TV. I'm going to link it in there. I'm not recording no more Ghana stuff on this channel, y'all. I love y'all. But y'all going to need to come on over. Okay? All right. I love you. I love you, love you. And if you're having an interesting day, I'm not going to say bad, an interesting day, remember that everything is always working out for you. Don't try and figure it out. It's not your job to try and figure it out. Let it work itself out for you. Do what you can and keep it pushing. I love you. Mwah.